Hi guys, well welcome back to part 2 of the Mazda RX-5, the MK Sportscars RX-5 build. As I say, we're trying to give a little bit more detail on what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve. We went through the pedal box, the brake lines and everything last time, and the diff, and we've been focusing now on our attention really onto the rear end. So starting, generally in the manual, our guide states about putting in the diff and the rear suspension, fuel tank, fuel lines, etc. So what we've done here is we've got the top wishbones on. These have a bush here and here with a crush tube in between it, and these are 70mm bolts M12 with a nylock on them, and on both of them. And when you're torquing these up, just make sure there's nice free movement. You can't once the damper's on obviously, but once there's free movement going up and down on here. To set the top here, we have two M10 rose joints here, and this is a 110mm bolt that goes through the top joint. Now these bushes, depending on your vehicle, you may want to put them in as a service item. We've put new ones in these, depending on what condition yours are in. And then on the bottom here, the bottom wishbone goes in and bolts into chassis location, rear location, and this one is an M14. So the crush tubes, making sure you use this one, is a 14mm hole in the center, and these ones on the outers are 12mm. This bolt goes in. Now again, another service item, checking this, making sure your bearings are nice, etc. These are new ones. You can tell it's gone in, it's had a new bearing, etc. on there. Comes with a whole hub assembly on this particular one. We've put that in, but again, cleaning up the upright, making sure it's serviceable, making sure there's bearings are nice and clean. You don't want to be putting it on and then taking it off again later on down the line. Excuse me. So once that's on, then you're going to mount your damper. Now the damper is already on here. We've got the two pickup points on the chassis and on the wishbone. So you've got chassis pickup point and wishbone pickup point. These are handed. This top wishbone here is handed, so left and right, etc., because we curve it around the suspension pickup point, and same as this particular one, they are handed because of the suspension pickup point on the shock absorber. So once you've assembled that, that makes your corner ready. You can do brake discs and a few other things in the corners. The handbrake, obviously we've put the cable in here. This is the original MX-5 one actually. It's come off the ink. It's a serviceable item, but it's actually in pretty good condition, so we've left that here. And this mounts into the two holes. Into here you have a center joint here, which is the pivot section that goes onto the standard MX-5 handbrake lever. And the good thing about this, it's a very linear movement, has a handbrake warning light switch already on it as well, so it's easy to wire up, and it mounts onto our plate here. Now this plate is factory on the position, it's done in the chassis, so you ain't got to worry about drilling holes or anything. You just bolt it onto it, nice and simple. And this cable again should be serviceable from your MX-5. If not, you can buy replacements. Prop shaft we've laid in ready for when the engine comes in. Now this part is modified, so the standard one is about another 250 I think mil longer, and we modify this. We modify your existing part and we do them on an exchange basis for you, or your service item, we can do it on your particular one. And if you lose the bolts, it's not a problem. These can be mounted up. We've put some 12.9s in there, stronger hex bolts, etc. as well. Now getting round to the diff where that prop shaft mounts into, there's a lot of always questions that get this in the kit. What's this for? Well, this is the bracket that everybody seems to not understand. So I'm showing you this because we put a fourth mounting point in the diffs now, and this one here, this plate's welded into here, and also this hole, if you are using aftermarket gauges, you're wondering what that's hole for, that's for your speedo sensor pickup, just there. So then you can put the magnet on the drive shaft, and then this speedo pickup will work for you. So it's serving two purposes: structurally adding strengthening to the diff, and also giving you your speedo pickup point. Right, on here, fuel tank time. Makes a nice sound. Now we've changed, we used to have like some aluminium straps, we've changed the way we do this here. We've now got this U-channel bracket, which comes with two M6 rods that thread and bolt down into the chassis. These plates are already welded into the chassis, into the corners, and it's a question of a stud that goes in and clamps this down. It's really secure now. That is really going absolutely nowhere. So nice and secure. You've got your swell put in the base there, and your Mazda MX-5 pump which is this one, then gets modified. Now that is in the manual. I'd like to show you everything, but that gets modified. It's a cut and shut with a laser cut bracket we supply you so that it all fits in. And this is what we've done on the Mark 2.5, because again, you can run a fuel and return, but normally this would, on a Mark 2, this would go also up to the fuel rail, but we've done a return section in here. Because the 2.5 has a pressure regulator on the pump. This runs round then to, this is just stock filter. So this one, the Mazda MX-5, this is the bracket that actually holds it on the vehicle. We retain that bracket and use it. It's very good, nothing wrong with that. And the filter also, and if you're doing turbos, will also, this will work with your turbo, it's not a problem as well. Retain that, mount that in, and we have a little mounting bracket. You can drill this out or etc. and mount that onto this section as well. And then the fuel line is running. Now making sure, if you've got some fuel line in, making sure it's got the code on it here, guys, because if you've got the code on it, just in case when you do to IVA inspection time that they want to make sure that that is fuel safe and fuel compatible, it's always good to do that. We put a braiding over this, mainly for just protection for stones and things like this. Of course, they're quite an open vehicle. It's mainly to stop stones and debris coming up and maybe splitting the fuel line. It's good protection for it. It's a bit of rubber. You don't want that failing on you. So we've done the same on the other corner here. This is all in. This corner's done, etc. as well. And they're the main processes where you want to get to. This is pretty much a back end together, other than the disc and calipers and then the handbrake cable being mounted. So that's good, that's all in, and then we're on with prepping engines, which we'll show you again on the next one with the sumps and everything else, and then we'll be looking at getting in the wiring loom. So this is having a new one, new loom here, and what we have on our one, what we do is put in the little saddle bushes. So if you see these in your kit and you're doing them, we just rivet these in. Again, specification is 300 millimeters between them, but we tend to do a lot less. It's a wiring loom and make sure it's structurally safe, so we do like 150 mil between each one. These go along and under the chassis along here as well, so we can hide it along this front section so you don't see the loom. These are 4.8 mil holes with a sealed rivet that we use. We run them along the centre tunnel, here, again keep it within that 300 mil, but we say we're about 150, right the way through the tunnel, and then it comes out through here, the routing through here and up, and then we go under this bar on both sides. We break away to these left and right corners basically, and that's where you're going to have your tail lights, indicators, fog lights and all of that, etc. run along. So if you start putting those in now at this stage, just before you get in all the weight in the vehicle, it's a lot easier because you can turn the vehicle over, the chassis, etc., just so you can then get in there and drill them. Otherwise, if you've got a 90-degree drill, which is like this, let me show you, not that you have these in your arsenal, but if you've got a 90-degree drill like this, it's really easy. You can just come in and drill from underneath. Great little tool. Very, very handy. Top tip, 90-degree drills. You can get into all of these little angles and areas that we've used before, etc. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That's where we're up to now. We'll look to get the loom in. We're looking then to engine, gearbox and other things to be going on. And then we'll also show you about how we fitting on the front rockers and steering rack and front suspension once the engine's in. Engine's easier to put in now before you put the front end on. Just gives you a bit more access, I suppose. That's why the rubber engine mounts are in. They're all in nice and loose. We put them in loose, tighten them up once the engine's in, but this is a standard 35 mil, very strong engine mount actually, rubber. Takes out all the vibration for it, and that'll be spot on. That's it, guys. Don't forget to press that like, share and subscribe button if you want to see the next instalment and how this starts to go together, give you a bit more detail. But also, if you've got any questions for the next instalment, throw them down there, guys, and I'll try and answer them for you. That's it, guys. Like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you on part 3.